My name is Omar. My story begins in Christmas, right after Christmas of 2012. My wife and I had just been married for a couple months, and she was visiting me from Mexico, and she was visiting me for the holidays. And during the holiday season, I ended up encountering re-injury in my back, which had me go into emergency surgery for lower back and disc problems. After my back surgery, my wife and I started experiencing all these issues, and part of it was the cultural differences, the language barrier, and the financial problems. In the distant relationship that we had at first, all that kind of contributed into the perfect storm. My wife had to leave her job unattended and her house unattended back home. And it was just a huge stressor on that. Not to mention, part of the surgery and the recovery took a lot of my dignity away, my manlyhood per se, as I identify as a man. Because I could no longer do things that I should be able to do for myself, such as dress myself, bathe myself, put on my shoes. And so that took a huge toll on me. And in doing so, I started abusing a lot of my drugs, a lot of my prescription medication. And all of a sudden, I just found myself in this dark place. I remember being really, really numb to everything. It became so numb that I started cutting myself. And although I knew scripture, and although we were both professionals and my wife was a therapist, it didn't make us immune to anything. I wasn't suicidal. I wanted to live, but I just didn't know how. We had reached out to different people for help. And no one seemed to understand us, what exactly it was we were going through. We found ourselves alone, insecure, scared. And although my wife was a clinical psychologist, she couldn't stay objective to help me in my recovery, in my restoration process. And so I ended up bringing her down to my level of depression, anxiety, anger, and whatnot. And so that prompted to a lot of abuse on my behalf, a lot of abuse verbally, emotionally. And I crossed the line, into the physical abuse. It was thereafter the physical abuse that my wife left me. My wife left me, and we separated for 2 months. During that time, I started the restoration process in my life. I went back to the VA and took advantage of some of their anger management classes that they had to offer. I sought out one-on-one counseling and got plugged in back into the church. And I was able to just start sharing my story with others. And the healing process began through me helping others. I started healing other men and other people that were drawn to me, drawn to my story. In the process, I had one of my buddies that called me up, and he wanted help, and I told him what I had gone through, what I had been through, and he openly told me his side of the story and wanted to change his life. And so when my buddy, I volunteered to help my buddy, we walked into the Good Fight Ministries, and it was the first day at the Good Fight Ministries that I realized that I wasn't there for him, I was there for me. Although my restoration was well underway, the Good Fight Ministries allowed me to put everything into place, categorize everything that I had gone through. And so just putting all that in order in my life was really just the thing that nailed the restoration for me in my life. Lost, broken, insecure, frightened, redeemed, forgiven, unconditional love. That's my story.